Hi, it's time for Street Talk, your voice and your views on the issues in the news. If you've ever tried to quit smoking, you know how difficult it is. Well, a new study may help by showing you what foods diminish the appeal of tobacco. Scientists with the National Institute on Drug Abuse conducted a study on 200 men and women. Each of them smoked 22 cigarettes a day. They were then asked what foods made the taste of the cigarettes better. It turns out fruits, certain vegetables, and dairy products make tobacco taste worse, whereas alcohol and some types of meat make it taste better. This may mean a diet can be created to help those wanting to kick the habit. Anthony in the United Kingdom thinks it's an issue of mind over matter. I'm an ex-smoker of 25 years. I believe that people train themselves to smoke as a conditioned habit, a bit like a Pavlovian dog. Break the pattern, break the habit. Anne in British Columbia thinks that governments want people to stay addicted. It's ridiculous. They have drug rehab clinics, alcohol rehab clinics, but no tobacco rehab clinics, because if we all quit, they'd lose all that tax money. Malcolm in Scotland simply writes, "At present, I have no plans to stop smoking." Enough said. It seems like a trip to space is the latest vacation destination for the very rich. Microsoft chairman Bill Gates, the wealthiest man in the world, may be next in line to head out to space. That's according to a cosmonaut who was speaking during a news conference broadcast live from the International Space Station. But Space Adventures, the US-based company that organizes the out-of-this-world voyages, said they haven't heard anything from Bill Gates about such a trip. We decided to ask if you thought everyone should be able to make such a trip in the future. Muriel in Canada writes, "The average person of the future is not the average of today. I believe flights to outer space will be possible if this planet can last a few more decades." James in the United Kingdom thinks the price of these trips will become much cheaper. Sir Richard Branson is offering trips into space through Virgin Galactic for around £100,000 in a couple of years' time. So maybe in a couple of decades, the prospect of traveling into space may become much more feasible for the average person. Yvonne in New Zealand thinks we should pay more attention to things on the ground. This mania for getting off our own planet is costing mega millions, when frankly, down here on Earth should be our first priority. Does a $3,000 cab ride sound fair? It does if the cross-country trip spanning 2,400 miles should really cost you around $10,000. 72-year-old Bob Matas and his 71-year-old wife Betty hired a cab to take them from their home in Queens, New York, to their retirement home in Arizona. The elderly couple don't drive, and they didn't think their two cats would enjoy the plane ride. After riding in Douglas Guldeniz's cab a few times, the three decided to go for it. In addition to the fare, the Matazes paid for the taxi driver's lodgings, gas, and food expenses for both sides of the trip. This is the first time that a New York City cab driver covered more than 2,000 miles on one fare. A few college students have mastered the art of beer pong, getting a ping pong ball into a cup and then forcing your opponent to drink the alcohol. The video shows the level of skill these kids have acquired.
1, 2, 3 into the 4. Snoop Doggy Dogg and Dr. Dre is at the door, ready to make an entrance, so back on up. Cause you know about to rip shit up. Give me the microphone first so I can bust like a bubble. Compton and Long Beach together, now you know you in trouble. Ain't nothing but a G-thing, baby. Too hoped out niggas, so it's crazy. Death Row is the label that pays me. Unfadable, so please don't try to fake this. But I'm back to the lecture at hand. Perfection is perfected, so I'ma let them understand from a young G's perspective. And before we dig on a bitch, I have to find it contraceptive. You never know, she could be earning her man and learning her man, and at the same time burning her man. Now you know I ain't with that shit, Lieutenant. Ain't no pussy good enough to get burned while I'm offended. And that's realer than real deal, holy feel. And now you hookers and hoes know how I feel. Well, if it's good enough to get broke off a proper chunk, I take a small piece of some of that funky stuff. It's like this and like that and like this and it's like that and like this and like that and it's like this and like that and like this and Drake creep to the mic like a fan. Well, I'm peeping and I'm creeping and I'm creeping.
I don't get it, but hey, whatever makes you happy. That's it. Until next time, do keep sending in your questions and comments and point us to anything interesting or amusing for Street Talk. Remember, what you see here isn't necessarily the view of Al Jazeera. Some of the content has been edited, but for time and space reasons only. And that's the talk on the street.